Hello, hello, welcome back to Oolykee Gaming and welcome back to another episode of Workers and Resources tutorial. Today we're gonna be focusing on import-based economy. Right, okay, so let's talk about it. I was doing a little bit of research and thinking, and if you want to grow your country, if you want to grow it fast, you can just export your materials, minerals. You can add always value like refining oil or refining coal and iron and refining it even into steel and earn, well, billions and billions. But what if you don't have any resources? I'm not even sure if we have any. I will pretend that we don't, even though we do have quite significant oil resources here. I will create an economy that is based on the imports of raw materials, processing it, and exporting those materials. We're gonna start with oil. Oil is the most profitable one, at least in my books, so we're gonna start with them, and let's see how far we can get. Right, first things first, we're gonna build a city. You've probably all seen this already, so feel free to just skip it, because this is just gonna be, well, I'm gonna skip it. This is just gonna be more or less usual stereotypical base game town that I build. By the way, I know that all of you know already, but I'm just gonna repeat, I'm not using any mods. This is all vanilla game. This is just tutorial for everybody who's just starting out to have an idea that they can work upon. So I'm gonna build a classical setup for 8 residential buildings, the highest quality. I will put 4 kindergartens, I will put 1 school, university as well. I like to present here a city that is self-sustainable for the foreseeable future until you have to grow and expand. Okay, I'll do the city now and see you when the city is done. Right, okay, so we have more or less basics of our city set up here. I still need a couple of kindergartens here. I'm gonna switch using rubles right now. Usually I like to spend dollars straight away. They're not that useful in the game. They are agriculture, but you know how it works. We can always make a video about that as well. I'm gonna go for a couple of kindergartens here, so we're gonna go 1 here and we're gonna go 1 over here, which is also gonna be surrounded by a couple of playgrounds, so we can go for 1 over here and 1 next to this kindergarten. It actually doesn't really matter that it's next to kindergarten. People need to use it, not children, for sports activity. And here we go, another one over here. And I would say that this is more or less city set. Of course, we need electricity, we need transport, we need refinery. We're gonna need refinery, so I'm gonna start with that right now, so we can I need to start refinery as soon as possible because refinery takes a long time to build. That's one of the issues, and of course, if you know what's best for you, you're gonna build it a little bit further from the city because it's huge pollutant. So we're gonna go for a refinery right now. You can find it here, and oil refinery. We will be plonking it anywhere. More or less, I would like to keep the exit pipeline on the left hand side. You can see that one. That's the kind of important one, so we're gonna go for that one, this direction. And we're gonna have loading infrastructure here. I'm kind of hoping that this is far enough from our buildings that influences people, so the pollution won't get to us. And then we need bus station. We're gonna go for small bus station, bus stop over here. I think this is good enough as any. We're gonna go for heating plant. We're gonna start with the full scale infrastructure, of course, small one. We're not gonna spend too much money on this because it's not that necessary. Of course, everything needs to be connected to our road system because of the firefighting purposes, and we need to connect all of these bus stops with our industries that need to be covered. So this is a heating plant. Now I'm gonna go for straight and direct 2 heating exchangers as we usually do. You probably know this because I always put the same system just to have everything covered. Like I mentioned every time, this is a future-proof system in the way that if we decide ever to expand, even though in these tutorials I do not expand, at the moment. These can be expanded quite easily, the cities, and they're gonna be covered with less than 50%, well, less than 100% of the capacity for heating and stuff like that. So it can easily be expanded to any size that you want. Of course, the heating plant has additional outputs for heating, but that's a whole different pair of shoes. So we're gonna go for heating straight away, and we have this one over here. Let's go like this. Two middle ones, 1 and 2, and that's gonna go over here. I'm gonna go straight towards this one. This is more or less how I'd like to build it, because it's the most efficient. And then I'm just gonna unpause this so it's built, so it doesn't interfere with our construction. So we're gonna go for 1 and 2 high again, and I'm gonna go again direct to here. Just before I'm gonna stop, because we lifted. I always lifted those pipelines 2. Recently I started with 3 because some of the railroads, I think railroads require 3 high pipelines to be implemented, not 2 high. So, and I don't want to go all the way high because it's just looks so unrealistic. Straight away, I'm gonna lower the amount of jobs. Here I'm gonna go for 15 because we need to feed the people in the beginning. That's gonna be really, really important. We're gonna have to lower the jobs in some other buildings as well. But this is not the most important thing. We still need electricity infrastructure, so I'm gonna go for vanilla power. Oh, that's not the one, this is the one. Power transformer, so we're gonna go for that one. Anywhere, that will be perfectly fine. Again, this is gonna go for the lowest power lines because steel is expensive, so we wanna save some money over there. But you can always build better infrastructure if you feel so. Okay, so electrical infrastructure needs to go. Again, I cannot build it. I don't like to use the word, but future-proof it, that everything is covered with 2 different power lines, just because it's a little bit more efficient. Just in case anything happens, it is a little bit more expensive, but if anything happens, it's gonna be covered. Okay, so we need one last electricity connection. That would be for this industrial zone over here, and I'm gonna go right next to refinery, so this would be pretty much okay. Here we go. So refinery is connected to electricity. The only thing we need to connect our border crossing is with roads. I need to build loading unloading station for oil. That would be this one here, pass through. I am really not sure how many. Well, I have an idea that it's gonna be quite a few trucks, but this is the system that we're gonna build. It's gonna require us to have both loading and unloading connections connected, because we're going to be importing oil for processing. So first things what we're going to have to do is import some oil. We can start from here, and of course this infrastructure here is going to have a little bit better roads. I'm going to go straight forward to this connection, but from here we're going to have to be a little bit inventive, because let's go like this, because we might have queues of trucks queuing up here, so this would be probably the best way to go about it. So this is now connected to the border crossing and connected to loading of oil, but we don't have any oil at the moment, so we're gonna have to import it first. We're gonna be importing it with our trucks, and we're gonna have to just get another pipeline running here. I'm just thinking if we're gonna have enough dollars over here, because rubles are something that's gonna be necessary for everything else. How are we doing here? I think this is the last project we have. I'm just gonna pause for a second, lower the amount of doctors we have. 5 is perfectly fine, and we need to monitor our shop because it can be swamped with people needing food, and we need to just pay attention to that. Okay, this is gonna be finished in rubles. I think we're gonna have more or less enough of everything. I will be, let's see, this is gonna take a little bit more. Yeah, it's gonna be tight. The things that we're gonna be build, it's gonna be a little bit tight on the budget side, because all of the buildings here are quite expensive. So Bear in mind that it doesn't allow you a lot of space with maneuvering space with purchasing different trucks or having some extra money, but I'm pretty sure it should give us a great income. Given that we are not building any oil pumping infrastructure, I think that should be quite nice. Okay, here we go. We have our first buses, and we're gonna just implement them like this. Classic. Go here. Oh, just a second. I need to pause this for a second, and the university is done. We're gonna need to lower the amount of workers here. I'm gonna go for 5 initially. And the second bus stop is over here. That's perfectly fine. So people can, buses can start going and delivering people straight away, and all of you can go straight away. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. They might not. I'm pretty sure actually that refinery is going to be done by the time the first buses arrive. Here we go. First shoppers are swarming our shop. Let me see if we can make their life a little bit easier. Let's go with dollars, and let's go like this. Okay, that's really good. They're going to refuel first. Refinery is done. The only thing that I'm gonna have to build as well is the pipeline connecting this one, and I'm gonna go for 1 and 2 high. This is height of number 2, twice up, and I'm probably gonna put a road here first, just so we can protect ourselves from fire. So it's connected to the... And here we go. That's it. We don't have any more dollars, so let's continue purchasing in rubles. So we're gonna go for a second one. Again, finishing the pipeline would go from here to here and to here. Okay, that's perfect. And now we're gonna have to see how much money we're gonna have left over for the trucks and the roads. So these are the two things. I need to upgrade this road where the buses go. For now, I'm gonna leave them. Probably should upgrade that one as well. Let's see how we're doing money-wise. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna upgrade this one. And here we go. And the last bits of road here and here. Yes, this refinery has 500 workers in there. 500 workers is an enormous amount. It's really a lot, and definitely is going to require a lot of people. Now, I'm going to tell you one thing. We do use a cheat mod. The cheat mod that is implemented in the game is you can press letters C, H, and E together, and you get this additional imports. Line spacing. Line spacing is just so the buses are equally separate from each other when they're delivering people. Why is this important? And I have a feeling we lost a bus. Vehicles 4. Okay, for some reason this guy had went the wrong way. Right, so this is the setup we have, and I'm gonna pause for a second again, and we're gonna go for rubles, and I'm gonna buy initially, let's go, oil tankers. These are the best ones we have. We have Skoda trucks here, 7-ton capacity, 62 kilometers per hour. We have this T138, that's a Czechoslovakian one as well. They're a little bit better. They have better capacity and they're faster. They're a little bit more expensive, but that's more or less, I like those. Initially, we're gonna set up the route like this. We need to import oil. So you're gonna be importing oil and delivering right here. Perfect. This is the trade route. So this is, we're gonna call it exports. Bitumen export. Here we go. Each one of them is going to be delivering oil as well as they're going to be exporting stuff. So a little bit of a math. We have this refinery can process at maximum 250 tons of oil, and we can get 75 tons of bitumen and 125 tons of fuel. You can see that 250 tons is turned into 200 tons, so we're gonna be delivering more oil and getting less for it. So technically we're not gonna be exporting the same amounts that we import. So I will not limit our vehicles and will tell them to wait until they're loaded, because that's impossible in the long run, unless you get external supply of oil to a refinery. That would be from oil field or additional imports. This is a good setup in a way that we don't have to use any of the infrastructure exporting of our oil. On this map, unfortunately, we have a lot of oil around here, but we are not going to be using it. So this is all going to be import-based economies. Okay, I think that's more or less it. I will just have to create additional lines. So this will be bitumen exports. We're gonna go for, as you can see here, difference of them processing and exporting is 5 towards 3. So that would be 8 vehicles altogether. So we're gonna have 3 vehicles transporting bitumen and 3 vehicles transporting and 5 vehicles transporting fuel. So we can start whatever we like, this way, and we can start with those. And I'm gonna create an additional line that would be fuel exports, that's it. And we're gonna go again first to the border and then here. The one thing I forgot to do in the bitumen exports, I forgot to set them up. They're gonna be loading fuel here, but they're also gonna be unloading bitumen. Wait until loaded with fuel. You don't have to wait until unloaded. Well, they can, and here they're gonna be unloading fuel and loading bitumen. They need to wait until unloading fuel, but they do not have to wait until loaded bitumen, because they're gonna be exporting less bitumen than they're bringing fuel. So we don't want them to have any confusion there. And the second one will be fuel exports. I'm gonna set them up as well, and here we go. All of you can start going there, because line is set, but we need to tell them that you're gonna be loading fuel, wait until loaded, loading oil, and then they're gonna be unloading fuel. They don't have to wait until loaded. And on the refinery here on the second one, they're gonna be loading fuel. Don't wait until loaded, but wait until loaded with the oil. Okay, so basically what's happening over here, we are loading all our trucks full of fuel, full of oil, bringing that oil here. That oil is then going to be processed in this refinery, and they're gonna be taking, hopefully straight away, the same product, same oil refined, and exporting it all the way. Every time they go there and back, they're gonna be exporting less, they're gonna be transporting less than they're bringing in, because that's the mathematics of oil production. 250 tons, you get 200 tons. Obviously 50 tons goes away somewhere, probably through these dirty pipes. And here we go, we have our first vehicles delivering oil. That's perfect. They're gonna be unloading all that oil. Here we go, and they're gonna be loading bitumen. Initially this is gonna be quite small amounts of bitumen, because they process this into oil as well. So next truck that comes along, they're gonna be loading a little bit more. Anyway, that's it. Let us speed this up. Let's see if our people are actually all happy here. Looks like we lost 3 people, and we can speed this up and check if everything is gonna work out. A little bit more people died. Usually this is what happens initially. We have a little bit few people queuing in front of the shops. That can be an issue sometimes initially, but if I just let them have a little bit more workers, this is gonna equalize, and later on you can lower the amount of workers. Usually I keep them around 10. This should be fine. Students, they should be fine, and this is the mathematics. We have 1,000 people, we lost some, we're gonna get more. And they're going to be transported to the refinery, they're going to be processing all this fuel and oil, and let's see how much money we're going to get. See you back in a few months. Right, okay, so it's still 29th of March, so it's just before we're gonna speed up for next 4, 5, 6 months. We'll see how long it's gonna take. I wanna make some changes and give you heads up straight away. I put a couple of more kindergartens here just because we're gonna need them. We have some money. This is all going to be fine. I'm gonna leave it as it is. We need to buy a couple of. I'm gonna do it now before the start of April because we're gonna have clean finances before April. I'm gonna just lower number of workers to 50% here, and I'm gonna give them a couple of ambulances over here. So this is gonna influence our finances a little bit, as you can see. And also one other thing, I have these oil tankers here, and we're gonna go all in. We're gonna buy 8 more because the only bottleneck we have here is how much oil we can get here. And also there might be queues of trucks in front of this, but that's not a bad idea. That means our loading, unloading would be a bottleneck rather than our processing power, and we're just gonna have a little bit more efficient system. So what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna assign 3 more trucks to bitumen exports, 2 and 3, and fuel exports that we have over here. I just renamed them a little bit. We're gonna give additional 5 trucks. So this should give us a little bit more oil. I think that's all. Yeah. The only one thing I forgot was to import coal here, but we have that all set up and ready. And let's see if we're gonna get first peeps. No young ones. Still no first peeps, but I'm expecting them first. The children to be available soon. There we go. This is gonna be 16 vehicles, 16 trucks going up and down, just delivering this good old dinosaur juice, and they're gonna be loading on whatever they have. Some of them are going to be dealing with fuel, some of them are going to be dealing with bitumen. As you can see here, this is the problem. We're going to have queues. We're going to have queues potentially on both sides, but this is good. I mean, when you see so many trucks want to export your stuff, that's definitely a good thing. Right, let me see if we got first young ones. Not yet. But I'm pretty sure that it's gonna happen quite soon. Oh, one other thing, pause real quickly, pause for the cause. I would like to implement 1 and 2 more buses, just so we have more regular public transport, because this, I repeat, this requires 500 people to work at 100% efficiency. We don't need it to run at 100% efficiency because we're dependent on oil imports with our trucks. And yeah, that's it. I think I'm gonna speed this up now and see you in a few. Right, here we go. Morning is rising over our beautiful town. Okay, that's it. 1st of September. Let's slow the time down and let's see what's happening. Financially, we were close to 0. Now we're at 340,000 rubles. So let's see, financially wise, from 1st of April. 1st of April, April Fools. We're gonna go all the way down to 1st of April. Until now we earned 332,000 rubles. That's just pure profit. Actually, income would be 678,000. Of course, we had a lot of expenses, and heads up, it's oil. Import of oil is our biggest expense. Next to that would be fuel. We could have taken care of that if we took one of the trucks or another one just to divert some of the fuel being produced in the refinery to the petrol station. Right, let's see the city. City is healthy. We had a little bit more deaths than usual in the beginning, 20 instead of 3, 4. Nothing spectacular. Population is 2,300, and of course, even with 4 kindergartens here, we still have an issue with kindergartens. People without jobs as well, that would be not an issue, they're just not working anywhere. They're still consuming all the goods. I limit the number of people working in the refinery to 150, just to see if we can create a bottleneck here in the oil processing, and even 100 people were processing this fairly enough. It was no issues whatsoever even with 100 people. So what would be the next steps in this case? Obviously this is one of the most profitable things we can do, import oil and then export it. The next step would be, if you want to concentrate on, like, on this map, I understand we have huge oil reserves around here, huge. We have decent oil reserves around here that we can tap into, but if you're gonna be focusing only on importing oil, you need to maximize import of oil. You need to go and build a train line. So you have luckily this border crossing has a train connection, so the best thing would be just to create a train line to utilize this import and export of oil here. So building a train station here for loading and unloading of oil, and going to the border crossing, you can build as big of train as you want, and setting it up the same way, importing oil, pumping it directly into the refinery, people processing it, and then exporting it out. Probably you would have to develop some storage capacity as well if you're gonna exceed 450 tons of oil that can be imported, but that's all up to you. Right, that's it. I still think the oil is the most profitable way to go in our Soviet Republic. There we go. Hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, like button. If you didn't, nasty comment section. Hopefully this was helpful. And yeah, see you next Friday.